Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to our presentation. First of all, let me thank you for hearing this today. My name is Nur Amirah Maisara binti Masrun. Our group consists of 4 people, which are Nur Shazin Alisha, Nur Shafiqah, Nurin Farhana and me. As you can see on the screen, our topic today is about activity-based costing, or we call as ABC. ABC method will help you understand their true cost by assigning indirect and overhead expenses to each of your product services. This accounting method of costing identifies the connection between cost, overhead activities, manufactured goods, and allocating indirect costs to product less randomly. However, some indirect expenses, such as the salary of the management and office personnel, are challenging to relate to a specific product. This costing system is applied to target costing, product costing, profitability analysis of product lines, profitability analysis of customers, and service pricing. Manufacturers use activity-based costing to better examine expenses and create more effective pricing strategies. Who is the one that invented ABC method? This activity-based costing method was first introduced by Robert Kaplan and Robin Cooper in 1987 as a chapter in their book Accounting and Management, and consists of 4 steps that assist, identify, what and how much of each activity actually adds cost to the final outcomes. Kaplan and Cooper acknowledged this issue and declared that this system incorrectly allocated some amounts of overhead to products, which either increased or decreased their cost and as a result misread management decisions. The concept was founded on the observation that direct labor and material costs are easier to define than indirect product costs. The reason why they invented ABC method is to reduce the expensive implementation. In the end, the procedure was introduced to help in resolving the issue with the old traditional costing approach, where managers made decisions on incorrect information. The advantages of ABC method are scientific and selective control helps in the maintenance of high stock turnover ratio, improved cost control, better understanding cost causation. It provides better information for product costing and pricing decision. Lastly, more accurate profitability analysis. However, there are also disadvantages of ABC method, which are difficult to determine activities and select cost drivers, lack of resources, inadequate computer software, workload on accounting staff in setting up the system and data collection. It involves more detailed recording and analysis than conventional costing systems. If the company is changing rapidly, the data in the ABC system must be updated frequently to avoid producing outdated and irrelevant information. This can be very expensive. The steps how to do ABC costing. The cost pool total divided by the cost driver, which results in the cost driver rate, is the formula for activity-based costing. The amount of overhead and indirect costs connected to a specific activity is calculated using the cost driver rate in the activity-based costing. Here is the ABC calculation. First, list all the procedures needed to produce the product. Second, organize the activities into cost pools, which incorporate each activity's specific costs, such as manufacturing. Determine the overall cost of each cost pool. Third, assign cost drivers for each activity in the cost pool, such as hours or unit. 4. Divide the total overhead in each cost pool by the total cost drivers to arrive at the cost driver rate. 5. To get the cost driver rate, divide each cost pool total overhead by all the cost drivers. 6. Add the number of cost drivers to the cost driver rate. For an easy example, imagine you own a small store that sells sandwiches and teas. You sell 60 sandwiches and 60 teas this month for a total of 120 items. What if you have an electric power bill of 120 ringgit at the end of the month? To divide the electric bill for sandwiches and teas, 120 ringgit divided by 120 items is 1 ringgit for every sandwich and tea sold. What if you need 3 kilowatt hours of electricity to create one sandwich, but just 1 kilowatt hour to make a glass of tea? Is it still reasonable to deduct 1 ringgit of electricity for one sandwich and 1 ringgit of electricity for one tea? Should we consider a higher electric bill for sandwiches? Traditional costing is easy because it often just divides some types of costs equally between different items. However, activity-based costing finds ways to divide or allocate these costs more proportionally or fairly. In our case, we now know that the sandwich should have a larger electric power cost than the tea. As a result, we may decide to sell our sandwiches for more than the tea, and the tea for less than the sandwiches. Of course, the cost of cooking sandwiches and tea does not end there. As a result, before making pricing selection, we must consider other variables as well. One example of company that use ABC method are Coca-Cola Company. Coca-Cola creates its price points using the ABC approach. Coca-Cola has a valuable inventory that might be missed. They compare the differences between the more focused, targeted products and the standard worldwide goods using activity-based costing. For example, the standard Coke and Diet Coke will be worldwide products as opposed to different flavors that are specifically for a country. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation.